I'm Pascale again. I'm president of the UNC Grad Workers chapter at UNC, and I also don't have any notes, so bear with me. I've only been an active member of this union for the past year and a half, 2 years, and I somehow am president now. So it's been a very cool experience, learning experience. In the past year and a half, as I've been active, we most notably, I think, did you get it? I think most notably we did a budget audit of UNC's budget, and what we found was incredibly revealing. And we had some good laughs because a lot of those numbers make you ask questions. We hired Dr. Howard Buncis to conduct the audit, who's a professional. I will say the biggest finding that we found in that was that UNC is sitting on a fat pile of $1.9 billion of uninvested, unrestricted funds, and they will look you in your face and tell you they can't pay you more than $21,000 a year. And so that has helped us kind of contextualize where we fit into the struggle for getting a living wage, higher wages. We have also, throughout the year, been doing something called lab walks, where we'll go into different departments and talk about the union, trying to get people aware that there is a union, because the problem on the campus is that people don't realize that there's a grad workers union. And so that's been productive. Along with that, we've been conducting a union card drive, which is something that worked at Indiana University, where they were able to get a certain amount of signatures, bringing that to administrators or whoever, and compelling them to meet with them. And then what else? We had May Day this May, and it was very successful. There was a big turnout. We had lots of fun speakers, and I thought it was a very invigorating event. Nissa, is there anything else I'm missing?
Hi, my name's Nissa. 2,300 community members and employees of UNC Chapel Hill signed a petition advocating for a living wage about a year and a half ago, to which the admin said we're broke. So we commissioned this audit to find out. Of course, they're not broke. To which they said, what about $23 a month more? And that was the raise that we saw over the last 2 years. Yeah, while at the same time, they cut how long we can be employed as graduate workers from the expectation of 7-year terms to now a 5-year cap on how long we can work in UNC.
And if I may, no department on campus has a 5-year completion. The averages are public information, and on UNC's own website, none of the departments have doctoral students finishing in 5 years. It's just not something you can do.
And at the same time, the university is now pivoting away from funding the education and research that makes UNC Chapel Hill and the people of North Carolina educated and improved and uplifted, studying the environment and problems that come with pollution, to instead invest in the School of Civic Life and Leadership, which is a Fox and Friends game that they're doing, and is welcoming Pete Hexet's Department of War to our campus. So instead of enriching our minds, they're enriching themselves with private equity that our chancellor runs. He is a private equity firm, and so when we talk about development of Carolina North, which is the new project, there's a big old growth forest up there that was donated 50 years ago to support philosophy workers, which is now going to be turned over to instead, yeah, you got it, private equity. But sorry, the last thing I think to kind of along those themes is something Pascale's been involved with, which is housing on campus.
Yeah, so when you go to university, there's an option for on-campus housing, right? And that applies also to grad students and grad workers and professional students. Right now, there is only one option available for grad workers, and that is Beatty Hill, is the name of the apartment complex. The university has recently decided to evict all the graduate students living in those apartments, offering absolutely zero alternative on campus. They have made vague promises of maybe an apartment building. It could be affordable, we don't know. It'll be owned by, a private company. So hopefully it's, affordable. Nissa?
Baby Hill at this moment takes 85% of your salary away for a family to live there.
Mhm.
These are families often of people with maybe who are international and coming to work here who rely on that relationship with the employer to have a stable housing. There are people with newborn children being told they have to leave this housing in the first year of the
They're
child.
so angry.
And something that seems they're stepping back is that nursing staff changes at UNC. We're going to a bidding system. So of course they're talking out the other side of their mouth saying that's not what we're doing with this app, but it's a potential. So just to give a state of what's happening at Chapel Hill as a whole, that's what we're aware of.
Not great. Is that
And then campus workers, anything, want to shout out before we close? No?
Jake?
Okay, 33K is still what they're hiring housekeepers at, I think, in this day and age, a year of our Lord, 2026. $33,000 a year.
That's crazy. All right.
Well, they're hiring, so if you know anybody, we can solve them.
I mean, they pay more than I pay. Okay. All right.
Thank you.